Thou art God,
All right.
the great I am, the self-existent Jehovah Yah,
All right.
Yahweh God, who
Amen.
sent his son Jesus, Emmanuel.
Yes, he did.
All right now.
Yes, he did.
He died on Calvary's yonder's cross for the sins of many. God is great.
Yes, he is.
Amen. Today, we want to talk about an example of conversion. And of course, I've covered some of these examples out of the book of Acts. The book of Acts gives us perfect examples of men and women being converted to Christ. And we talked about it one time, the eunuch, the people on Pentecost Day, the Philippian jailer, and Lydia. And today our focus will be the case of Cornelius from the 10th chapter of Acts. The case of Cornelius and conversion. Jesus, of course, told someone that you must be born again. In other words, you must come out of darkness into the marvelous light.
Amen.
And there's, see if I can get to it. Today, our focus is on a man that was from a nation, on the whole, that was ungodly.
Yeah.
And so before we get into this, let me give you a little background on some term that I want to focus on. That's the word Gentile. Gentile. A Gentile is a person of a non-Jewish nation or of a non-Jewish faith. So that brings in most of the world. Most of the world are characterized from a religious perspective as Gentiles.
Yes.
Okay? And so if you're not a Jew, you a Gentile.
Amen.
Okay? And now some writers, if you look at the 18th chapter of the book of Acts, it compares or equates Gentiles to the word Greek. Acts 18 verses 4 to 6, it considers Greeks and Gentiles as the same people. So many times in the book of Acts or in the Bible, when it says Greeks, it's talking about the Gentiles. When it's talking about the Gentiles, it's talking about the Greeks. And of course, the Greeks had a great influence on the history of man. The Romans, okay? And so many people spoke Greek during this time in Bible days. And so it came to be that if you were not a Jew, you were a Greek or a Gentile. Okay? And I just wanted to give you that information because as we go to the case of Cornelius, we can understand why certain things occurred. Let's go even further back there with Noah. Noah, remember Noah and Noah's Ark.
Amen.
Noah had 3 sons. And God apparently put it in him, when he and his wife, the capacity to produce 3 different nations in the sense of his 3 sons. Out of his 3 sons, the progenitor father of all men came, according to Bible history now, you may not agree with this. Secular history may give you something different, a different perspective. But biblical history shows where we all sprung from the loins of one of Noah's 3 sons. The 3 sons of Noah were Japheth, Shem, and Ham. Okay? And the sons of Noah. Japheth, basically, people are Caucasoids, or identified with Japheth. Okay, Japhetic people. Now, and that could be broad. Indo-Europeans, Indo-Aryans, the Aryan race, okay, all sprung from, according to biblical history as we look at it, Japheth. So Japheth had the Gomer, the Sumerians, Magog, the barbarians, the Medes, the Javan Greeks, Tubal, Meshech, Tyrus, all of these descended from Japheth.
Amen.
And let me stop there and say there were a lot of commingling in the history of man. We can look at our president and see that he's a manifestation of miscegenation or interracial relationship.
Amen.
His father's black African Kenyan, his mother's white lady from Kansas.
Amen.
And so it wasn't strictly just like that, but on the whole, the people of Caucasoid representation descended from Japheth.
All right.
Then you had the Aryan people. Then you had Shem and the Shemites. And it's interesting to find out that the Jews and the Arab people are cousins.
Amen.
You see all the hostilities going on?
Yeah.
These are brothers. And by the way, all of us are brothers.
All right.
Because we all came from Noah.
Amen.
And Noah, people all the way back to Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to see that the Semitic people, see when people say anti-Semitic, many times we think about someone that's biased or prejudiced against Jewish people. Well, Arab people are Semitic too. They're Semites.
Amen.
Okay, Elamites, Ashur, Assyrians, Arphaxad, the Chaldeans, the Babylonians and Jews, Lud, Lydians, Asia Minor, Aram, Arameans, Syrians, and this is Arphaxad was an ancestor of both the Hebrews and the Arabs folks. So the Hebrews and the Arabs folks are cousins.
Amen. Come on.
Okay,
Come on. Amen.
Ishmael had the same father as Jacob.
All right.
Okay, and so Abraham. Okay, and so we wonder why so much conflict today. You have two cousins, two brothers at each other's throat today.
Yeah.
Okay, the next son after Japheth and Shem was Ham, which is mostly the Negroid people.
Mm-hmm.
All right now, the race of Ham,
Yeah.
the chief seat in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
but also mingled with the Semitic races on shores of Arabia. So you can't say everybody that's Hamitic is not necessarily only Hamitic only. You got some that mingle with the Semitic people too.
All right.
You know, like black Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they are African descent, but they're still Jews.
Amen.
Okay, and also commingle with the people of Tigris, Euphrates River, Mesopotamia, present day Iraq.
Amen.
They extended, that is, the Hamitic race extended into Palestine, the land of the Philistines, Asia Minor, large islands of Crete and Cyprus. And so you have the Cushites. You remember the Ethiopian eunuch? Some translations say he was a Cushite.
Yeah.
They were first associated with Babylonia and Nubia, which was south of Egypt.
Yeah.
Then you have Mizraim, the Egyptians.
Amen.
And by the way, Egypt, that's a Greek name. The Greeks call themselves Kim, or Kemet. And they also call them Mizraim, and also the land of the Negroes. So Egypt, okay, was called Negro land at one time.
All right.
Kim, Kemet, not
Right.
Greek. Okay, so that word Egypt is more of a Greek name. Then you have Put, the Libyans, Canaan, the Palestine. And so, as we look at man, you're either, okay, and like I said, this was a lot of commingling because a lot of us have, you know, people of other races in our blood. Y'all, come on now. Y'all.
Amen. Come on, Bishop. Come
Okay,
on.
but on the whole, then I haven't forgotten, I didn't write the Mongoloid people.
All right.
Okay, Asia, China, Chinese, okay, all of them, if I didn't name them, Native Americans, if I didn't name them up here,
All right.
they came from one of these three sons,
All right.
or two or three of them,
Amen.
okay,
Amen.
because Noah only had three sons.
All right.
They were only 8 saved. Noah and his wife, and his 3 sons, and their wives.
All right.
And out of those 8 people, they overspread, the descendants came, and we came from, what I say, some of those people.
All right.
Now, back to Japheth, in the Bible, in Genesis, it talks about the isles of the Gentiles. I'm leading to my lesson. The